Hey y'all, I'm gonna give people time to get here because this is a spur of the moment. I'm gonna vent live. Um, so I'm gonna wait for people to get here, and then somebody tell me when you get here. This is an impromptu live because I just read an article that made me hot mad. So I'm coming on here to share my frustrations with what I just read. But so tell me when you're here. This is an impromptu live. I'm not going to be live too long because I know some people are going live in a little bit and I don't want to interrupt them. But let me know when I've got some people here because this is impromptu. Um, I'm hoping we're still going to New York City tomorrow. Hey, Liberty Farmer, when we just dropped one of my sons off to a friend's, and on the way home, we my husband noticed something weird with the brakes and there's a leak in the brake line. So, oh well, I mean, God's in control. If we go, we go. If we don't, we don't. That's okay. Hey, everybody I missed. So I just text Amber or message her, and I just read an article, you guys, that I just have to that is really got me frustrated. And I think it's because um of what we just talked about with Brittany today. But hey, LFT, anybody I missed, loving life at home. Again, I won't be on too long because I don't want to interrupt other people's lives. And Luann, I'm sorry if I missed you, Tia Dash. So I just read this article. Somebody had alerted me to another case that is um, to the girl, the 15-year-old girl that was taken from the Mavericks game. Um, Texas is a pretty hot button issue for trafficking, but a lot of it is near Dallas now, believe it or not, and happening in the wealthier areas. So, this girl is 15. She was taken from, went to get up to go to the bathroom. She was at a game with her dad, and she didn't come back from the bathroom. This was on April 8th. Luckily, thank goodness, law enforcement higher up was able to use face recognition down towards Houston. And when they found her 10 days later on April 18th in a trafficking ring, already being trafficked. Praise the Lord, she is home. She is reunited with her family, but the trauma and the years of it's just awful. But here's my problem. Y'all, here's my problem, and this is what has me fired up, and this is why I'm live, because I was too frustrated, and my husband's like, relax, you're gonna get so upset. But I am. Um, yeah, so she was found, and she's, got years of scars that she'll deal with. But here's what happened. Her father went the Mavericks are now getting basically getting sued or looked into because of negligent. This father went to the police or whoever it is for the game, and they said, I'm sorry, we can't do anything. Call your local. She lived in North Richland Hills, which is a nicer area closer to the Fort Worth way. Said, now, if you know me, I came from McKinney, which is about 30 minutes. It's a suburb of Dallas. So this, again, is another one that hits home. They said, we can't do anything. Sorry she didn't come back to her seat. Go ahead and call your local PD. So the father calls North Richlands Hills. Meanwhile, his child is missing. North Richland Hills said, hey, we can't touch that. You got to call Dallas PD. This happened in Dallas. No one would help him find his daughter. Okay. Do you know how much time was wasted fighting over, hey, I'm not touching this case. This didn't happen and this isn't a law enforcement thing. This is saying a 15-year-old girl was missing and no one would help. Like, what if they could have stopped her getting out of the game, like before she got, I am sorry, this is maddening to me. Like, we're not doing enough. It's like Alicia was saying, we're not doing enough. We are all just saying, and I'm not saying us personally, but yeah, partly me. We just stick our head in the sands because we think that, oh, this is never, this is never going to happen to us. I mean, she was at a basketball game with her father, and now 10 days later, she's found in Houston in a trafficking ring. 8 people were arrested for this ring. But do you know how many more rings are happening in um in Texas right now? I'm just I am I am floored because what is happening is in a lot of these places, whether it be small town or more well-to-do areas near Dallas and stuff, the suburbs of Dallas are well off. They are all just saying, a lot of them. So to be honest, a lot of them don't want to have that uh what's the word I'm looking for? Have that rap, or you know have that hurt their image necessarily. And this is God's honest truth. I've heard. Oh, really? Sandy, I love McKinney. Oh, I would move back there in a heartbeat if it wasn't for my children. And I say that because they really missed family, but I loved McKinney. And also it's so expensive. Um, I know, Rena, and I think that's why I had to go live, because I'm so upset. I was physically upset, and I because I'm so passionate. I've always, for many years, for personal reasons, I've been very passionate about human trafficking. But it's this type of, if we just don't say anything, we live in a wealthy area. We're the like, just don't say anything, it'll go away. Stigma, yes, Tia. It's that is happening, especially like Collin County. Sandy knows, McKinney. Um, there's a lot of things that are pushed under the rug because you don't that is not what they want to be seen. um so this girl is missing, and we're fighting over who's going to do something to go find her. Like, she is one of the very few that are blessed to be found, but nevertheless 10 days later, after God only knows how much she was thrown around in that time period. And Irina is actually, like, absolutely, it's maddening for this to happen. And this is why parents of these children that are coming up missing, and it's not just girls either, guys, it's guys too, it's boys. This is why the parents are starting to get like, I mean, why did Brittany Drexel's mom move to Myrtle Beach? I know one of the reasons she did was to keep on law enforcement. The only reason, look, not all of these kids, I've seen it, guys, firsthand. Not all of these kids have voices. Not all of these kids, I'm on like a soapbox. Not all of these kids, some of these children are sold from their parents. So not all of these kids have people to be their voices at all. Brittany Drexel's mom just happened have family that was their voice. Exactly. When a child is missing, every second counts. Um yeah, exactly, Amber. So if we can't even get law enforcement to care about this, what the heck? Then we've got to do something. We have to start being their voices. So like, this was it for me. This was like, no, I'm at least going to really I have got to do better. Like, I have been given this platform. I have got nice support, but this junk can't happen. And what Rena said is absolutely right. Every second matters. Like, to be taken at a Mavericks game, she's one of who knows how many. Like, it's the story is that she was literally taken directly out of the bathroom. And Sandy, I mean, it's not, and I think we get an image in our head that this is Rescue One Global is an organization my friend works for. She told me many times they go in to save victims. Oh, Amber, yeah, you know what? I've heard those stories before. They right now, because law enforcement, and this is, I'm not anti-cop, this is beyond them, this isn't a main focus. There are organizations like that right now that are going in just to save people. Um, but it's it's maddening. And the Mavs, they're gonna. I mean, these parents are gonna win their lawsuit, and I hope they do, because I can't believe that they told them we can't do anything. You've got to call North Richland Hills, and North Richland Hills said they've got to call Dallas because that's where it happened. I Exactly, Sandy. Exactly, Sandy. Xavier Harrelson. Now we don't. Okay, there's been no arrests, the investigation, but I'm saying there's been speculation. Like, these kids are disappearing, and we have this really bad, like, because we've seen so many movies. I think we think, oh well, we we it happens in areas where there's lots of drugs, and we're picturing like Harlem or something, that these kids are getting taken, or really poor areas and run down. It's not. It's in our back door, our backyard. It's in the cities that are, you got that, it's everywhere. um when out in public, I try not to ever. I know. Rena, I know, you're right. I know. and And all I know how to do right now is to utilize the platform I have to at least a couple times a week be talking about this, because this baby was found, but we're talking of years of trauma to get over for this whole family. I mean, the guy just wanted to take his daughter to a game. Um, and it's not happening just in the poor rundown areas anymore. In fact, it happens just as small. Look at Xavier's town, was really small. And again, we have no confirmation, but I'm just saying kids are being taken from right out from under our nose. And so Amber's friend, right? So Amber's friend works for Rescue One Global, and I'll pin the link for her organization. That's awesome. But who do these people have protecting them when they're going into these very dangerous situations to save these people? I guess I'm just at a loss for words. Do you know that last year what? Can you drop it in chat, Amber? I gotta find the stats. Hold on, I just saw it. It was some insane million people, like 19 million or something. I just saw it. People being trafficked in the world. Like, it. I'm just. All right, y'all. That's Amber's friend, but organization, and I'll post it in my community too. But Rena's right. You can't even let your kids anymore go to the bathroom. And we used to always, like, it's just, I don't know. So when I heard this, I was furious, because we've got to do better. We've got to do better. And Rena's right. We're all trying to, like, well, they'll take care of it, or they'll take care of it. We don't want to do anything with that. They'll do, and we can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. I mean, there's so many other bigger issues at hand right now, y'all, than fighting on YouTube, like, in the grand scheme of things. And, even Brittany, I don't think Brittany's case would have stood a chance to ever be found if her parents wouldn't have fought for as much as they did. But there's kids all the time. When I lived in Texas, there was a girl found in a dumpster like 10 miles down the road, um, from where I live, found in a dumpster. I have checked and checked and checked. She was killed. Checked and checked and checked. Do you think that there's ever been a case about that? I mean, maybe it's a cold case, maybe it's somewhere in the file, but you've never heard about it again, because they're just coming up missing. And we have started to make these kids like disposable in ways. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I could adopt all of them. Hey, Mystic, the people who started, their daughter was, oh, Amber. Exactly, Amber. And now it's like we talk about it in the public and we talk about it, oh, we're going to give this money to this foundation and, we're doing this to stop it and all this stuff. But really, are we? Thanks, Mystic. I'm on a rant right now. And there's just so many of them that don't have a voice. And it's really heartbreaking. And unfortunately, many of them are minorities. But I don't know. Oh, LFT, yeah, thanks for stopping in. This was just a quick frustration of what is happening, and I think it's just because it's like where I'm picturing when I went to the Mavericks game with my kids a few years back, and it was just me and them, and I'm thinking um, of how easy it could have been one of them. Thanks, snow remover, and I think all these cases that are coming up. And it's not like I'm at a point where I'm like, I need to step away. It's getting to be too much. It's kind of the opposite for me. Like I look at my kids now and I think I need to step it up because my kids' age are being taken. And I think these two that have hit close to home and is making me think like, okay, I've got a platform. I think that it's good to, be funny, and I think it's good to deep dive into cases, other cases, and but I also think that I can't forget these kids or these adults. Like I have to. I mean, ask Sandy. You wouldn't think in McKinney somebody would be taken. Like I don't know. You're right, Rena. Everybody needs to be aware because even myself, I'm very naive to the fact that it could. I always think, well, that will happen to that person until it happens to you. And then you realize, crap. Like, so I was thinking out loud, I was thinking, y'all, like, I think when you become monetized, then you have an option to work with YouTube to do like where you can, like, you give them a nonprofit you want certain things to be donated to. I think is how it works. And then every now and again, like, you can hold fundraisers, and then YouTube makes sure that this organization gets the money that's been donated and stuff. Yeah, snow remover. I have a very personal experience with it. I'm not quite ready to share it, but there are reasons that I'm very passionate about it. Um, and let's just say, yeah, somebody, yeah, is safe, um, but yeah, it's a very personal. This is a very personal issue to me. But now I'm at the point where I don't even cry about it anymore because I'm too fired up and wanting to do something to cry anymore. The kids are adults, and kids, they realize why we held it. I know, Mystic. And this is in no way, shape, or form. Please know I'm not coming on here to talk about law enforcement because I think we get wrapped up in YouTube stuff and we get wrapped up in the drama, and then we forget that there's bigger issues at hand. And one of them being that children, women, men, boys, everything are disappearing from out under our nose, and we're fighting over silly things. And one of us, and I'm not saying it has to be all the time, you guys. I'm just saying that, I don't know. I'm saying for me personally, in the direction of this channel, I want to start to be a little more of a voice for these people. And I'm thankful that this girl's parents were her voice. I know, snow remover. But you know what, snow remover? I will say, some people don't, like MRB's lives, but she really does try for the most part to stay out of that type of drama in her lives and whatnot. So I give her credit where credit is due. But, and I'm not one to care about viewers, but let me put this into perspective. Okay. If I was to say, well, it's Friday night too, but if I was to say, I'm going to come on there and I'm going to slam Natasha Cooper, you all be prepared. 11 o'clock, I'm going to go live about her and I'm just going to spew it. I will guarantee you, I will have 100 to 200 people in this live watching, hands down, in a matter of minutes. I can say that because when I went live to tell my story of the DWI and people thought I was gonna, knew I was gonna respond to it, and knew that they were waiting for me to kind of lash back, and I didn't. I guarantee I had 100 people in here, 100 people in here, and I don't care either way. I'm gonna do the same live for 10 that I would do for 100. But if I'm talking about this or something, 20, 40, and that's fine. I am okay with that. But what I am saying, and each time the true crime, it's getting more, a lot of creators are supporting stuff. But what I'm saying is that I think our focus is in the wrong spot. And so, like, I personally can't control what other people do. And I go into everyone's chat, and I will always respect what anyone chooses to talk about. It's their channel. But what I'm saying is, I hope that you can understand at this point why I want to do something a little bit different with this channel. And I don't want to let myself get wrapped up into the drama, because exactly, Rena. Exactly, snow remover. Right. Sometimes, I'll admit, I'll feed into it or something, but I can't get stuck there, because I think once you get stuck there, it's like it just sucks you in. And Rena is a perfect example. I see her go everywhere. Like, if she's got something to say, she says it. Um, and right, Mystic, absolutely. The Delphi girls, like, it's just maddening. Um, but that's just for me. This is an area I need to do better. But you know what? I will say thank you so much to Kim, Brittany, LFT, Tia, um, Alicia. I know I'm forgetting some. Many creators that came in earlier to support me and to hear about Brittany and stuff. And if I forgot you, I'm sorry. Um, but that's how this stuff really gets done, is by creators starting to come together to stand up and be voices and stuff, is kind of what I'm saying. And so I appreciate them, and anyone, just helping in any way they can. Um, but that's all I got. I was just so frustrated. I was so frustrated. And my husband gets it, but he doesn't get it at the same time. For him, I don't know if it's his man brain. It is like, if he gives himself time to think about it, it's just too much for him. So um, I think my personal experience with trafficking and some of the other things is just what has made me so passionate. So, but, well, look, I know there's some other lives. I go everywhere too. I like so many. Yeah. And Mystic, I might not like what they're talking about, but I like them as a person. I do on occasion have to step back. I had to turn it off earlier. I met too many on here. Rena, I agree. I agree. And I need to do a better job of seeing, like, live titles and stuff, because, like, for instance, if somebody's talking about Natasha and I enter and say hello, even if I don't realize what they're talking about, it still comes across like I went in there because they were talking about. So I just need to be a little more aware of that kind of stuff. But usually I just say hi and dip out if I don't like, what I'm hearing, just so I don't get caught up in it. But I mean, I like what each creator talks about, and I like, it's just, for me personally, I might go live and vent like this sometimes because it's frustrating. But all right, well, listen, y'all, I'm gonna let you go. I think Brittany's live. We should hop over there, and I think that Brittany Lycan was. That's all I saw right now, but I'm sure there's others live. But definitely show them your support. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to me. I will post that link that Amber gave me in the community tab if you guys want to check it out. And if you hear of a case like this, or somebody's gone missing, or you hear of a trap, anything like that you want looked into, please don't hesitate to email it to me, because I will do my best to look into it. We're still trying to look into Alexis Gabe, which is a very similar situation. So, all right, y'all, have a good night. Thanks, guys. Bye.